Caitlin Clark said, "No layups in my house," and sent Angel Reese flying like it was a Southwest commercial. That flop had Academy Award winner written all over it. But the refs really looked at that and said, "Yep, that's definitely murder," and gave Caitlin a flagrant like she pulled a knife out mid-play. And Angel tried to run up on her and said, "You're crazy as fuck, what the fuck are you doing?" And Caitlin's all like, "This is just basketball. It's either a layup or free throws. Pick one."
It's just a good take foul, you know? If either Angel gets wide open 2 points or, we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a good take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And just like that, Caitlin Clark dropped a triple-double, won by 35.
Angel Reese got benched on live TV. Yeah, and no, this wasn't one of those rest the star moments. This was the kind of benching that makes you stare at the coach like, "You really doing this?" But Angel? She didn't sulk. She went full savage mode. Her response had reporters speechless, fans clutching their pearls, and even the Gatorade bottles sweating. It wasn't just a comeback. It was a glitter.
Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever is currently putting the beats on the Chicago Sky. And I'm telling you right now, Angel Reese is furious because she wants to make it her business to beat Caitlin Clark this year. And I'm telling you right now,
Angel Reese got benched on live television. And no, this wasn't some routine rotation change or clever coaching strategy. This was the basketball version of being told, "Sit down and reflect on your life choices." But don't get it twisted, this wasn't your average sideline drama. It was a full-blown spectacle, unfolding with the kind of poetic timing you only see when the sports gods are kicked back, sipping tea, and watching ESPN like it's the Real Housewives of the NCAA. And trust, everyone was watching.
Black and White Sports supporters, well, I told you guys there would be a follow-up video on the nuclear fallout. That's exactly what it's been. Over the take foul, as Caitlin Clark is calling it, and that's a great way to say it. It was a take foul. She was trying to prevent a wide-open layup, although one could argue that she might have missed it anyway, on Angel Reese, and then Angel Reese went absolutely, utterly berserk.
So, what triggered the fall of Queen Ree? Just a little thing called unfiltered rage, the kind you'd expect from a Marvel villain who skipped rehearsal. And the spark? None other than Caitlin Clark. Yes, that Caitlin Clark, with a three-point range that stretches from Iowa to the moon and back. She picked up a foul. Not a tech, not a flagrant, just your standard, everyday whistle. The type you hear 16 times a quarter when ankles are breaking and elbows are flying like food in a blender. But for Angel, that one call flipped a switch, and chaos followed.
Got this little white girl and Caitlin Clark out here busting that and flat out, bruh, triple dub. And I don't want to hear none of that stat padding stuff, bro. She had a triple double, and that's just the facts, man. That's just the facts. So I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, she fouled her hard, bro. It was a malicious play." Man, that wasn't no malicious play. This is a malicious play. Check it out. What y'all gonna say?
But Angel Reese? Oh no. She didn't just react, she erupted. If there'd been a smoke alarm in the arena, they'd have evacuated and finished the fourth quarter in the parking lot. Let's be clear, this wasn't your standard sports rivalry. This wasn't two elite athletes sharpening each other through competition. This wasn't playful trash talk or mutual respect. This was raw, undiluted animosity with a sprinkle of, "I hope your sneakers fall apart mid-dribble." The glare Angel shot at Caitlin could have melted steel. And the energy she brought? It made Godzilla vs. Kong look like a tea party with Mr. Rogers.
We need to talk about the hard foul. Caitlin Clark fouls Angel Reese while going up for a layup. People are making a big deal out of this. And me, I'm looking at it like, look, it was just a hard foul. I don't even think it was flagrant. The only thing that was flagrant was Angel Reese's response, right? How she responded to the hard foul. And obviously you can see there's still a little hate. There's still a little hate out there. But I'm going to say this. WNBA, lean in on this. Lean in on it.
But here's the real kicker. Reese didn't just sit back and scowl from afar. Nope. She made a beeline for Caitlin like it was Survivor, Basketball Beef Edition. Her body language screamed, "Oh, I've got time today." You could practically hear the courtside commentators drop their popcorn and whisper.
Basketball player, refs got it right. Move on.
And Caitlin? Let's just say she had that frozen, what even is happening face, like someone who just got blindsided at a spelling bee. Because honestly, Caitlyn didn't do much. Unless simply existing now counts as a technical foul. Sure, she committed a routine foul, but Angel reacted like Caitlyn insulted her jump shot, her playlist, and her grandmother all in one sentence. Then came the benching. And not just any benching, the kind where the coach won't even make eye contact, silently screaming, "Nope, not today. Sit." The arena went from hype to yikes in 5 seconds flat. Angel didn't argue. She didn't throw a fit. She just sat with the kind of cold, simmering fury you only see from someone told they can't bring their own snacks into the movie theater. And then the internet caught fire. Twitter detonated like it was hosting a digital Royal Rumble. Angel's fans were split, some saying, "She's just passionate," others asking, "What in the WWE was that?" Meanwhile, Caitlyn's supporters flooded the timeline with memes faster than Angel hit the bench. Suddenly, your feed looked like a wild crossover between First Take and Maury, with opinions flying harder than elbows in a fourth-quarter rebound scramble.
Walk me through your perspective on the flagrant foul. What was the point you were trying to make to her?
It's just a good take foul, you know. If either Angel gets wide open 2 points, or we send him to the free throw line. Nothing malicious about it. It's just a take foul. Every basketball player knows that.
And Angel's response? Oh, buckle up. She didn't apologize. She didn't flinch. She doubled down. With the grace of a freight train and the subtlety of a jackhammer, Angel came for Caitlyn like it was open season. And she made one thing painfully clear. This wasn't just a rivalry. This was a vendetta. If there's a dartboard in Angel's room, we all know whose face is pinned to the bullseye. You could see it in her stance, her snarl, the way she answered questions with the emotional intensity of a Category 5 hurricane. This wasn't just competitive fire. This was Ward. If looks could draw fouls, Caitlyn would have been hit with 6 and a tech before tip-off. Now, let's talk consequences. The NCAA loves to preach sportsmanship and composure, but you just know they were watching that clip on a loop, like it was a sneak peek of their next PR nightmare. You can't explode mid-game, go scorched earth on a fellow player on national TV, and expect to walk away with a slap on the wrist and a cold Gatorade. This isn't
sugarcoating this. This is pure hate. Pure hatred for that white girl in India. Excuse me. I need to specify. Sorry. The one that wears 22.
Her coach? He looked like a man suddenly realizing that coaching Angel Reese might require a degree in conflict resolution and a minor in professional babysitting. At the post-game press conference, he wore the expression of someone trying to explain his browser history to his wife. Nervous smile, deep sighs, and the go-to classic. We'll deal with it internally. Translation? I have no clue what she's going to do next, and I'm praying the league steps in before I have to. Meanwhile, the fans were spiraling into an identity crisis. Half were yelling, "She's just passionate," while the other half were Googling, "Can you get ejected for side-eye?" And the rest? Oh, they were just here for the spectacle, popcorn in hand, watching the WNBA morph into a full-on reality show hosted by drama queens in high tops. Let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't Angel's first emotional outburst. She's been turning games into soap operas since her NCAA days. Angel doesn't just play with passion. She plays like someone aired out her diary on the Jumbotron. But last night? That was something else entirely. That was DEFCON 1 with lashes and a ponytail. Full-on flipped the table. WWE Royal Rumble energy in a league that supposedly has rules and referees. She stormed the court like someone spoiled the ending of her favorite show. And no, this wasn't competitive edge.
Do you like the way your players responded there, just to that moment? It looked like somebody was coming over, talking with Angel, coaching staff was talking with her to help calm her down, make sure that it didn't escalate any further?
Yeah, I think that it's a little misrepresentation to calm her down. I think emotions were high on both sides, and so I think Angel reacted in a way that any of us would react in a moment like that.
Because while Angel was benched, Caitlyn was still out there calmly draining buckets like the court wasn't on fire around her. That's right, while one star combusted, the other kept shining. You could practically hear Nike execs in real time scrambling to rewrite ad campaigns. Maybe let's ease off the grit and lean into sportsmanship instead. Meanwhile, sports analysts were collectively losing their minds. Is Angel Reese a locker room liability? Is Caitlin Clark the only adult in the building? Should we start assigning therapists to every bench? Everyone suddenly had a take. Half of them sounded like conspiracy theories. The other half, like dramatic monologues ripped from an ESPN soap opera nobody asked for. And behind the scenes, you just know the chaos was delicious. Teammates walking on eggshells like they were in a haunted house. Coaches crafting carefully worded apologies like breakup texts. PR teams melting down in real time. Somewhere, a group chat was absolutely on fire. But
we saw Caitlin Clark become the fastest player in WNBA history to have 3 triple-doubles. Besides it getting a little bit spicy with her and Reese, what did you like that you saw from Clark?
Speaking of spicy, right? I think that was just a no free buckets foul. Now, it was a hard one, and I think the refs did their job, and I'm glad we can focus on the court. But Caitlin Clark, she came in this season as the MVP favorite for 2025, and even though it's one game, you can see that it may not just be all talk. She had a triple-double, as you mentioned, 20, 10, and 10. And you can see 2 things happening. Playing with vets like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, it allows her to not constantly be doubled or triple teamed or trapped.
Versus Clark, they went head-to-head. Let's check out went as we pick this up early in the second. Angel Reese, she's been working on that jumper, and it's good. Some respect on it. Sky down 3 under 10 left now. Clark finds her spot, and it's a green bean. CC beating the buzzer, and then check this out on the Sky bench. Angel Reese is like, man, come on, man. Y'all need to D up. How you gonna let her get that jump? A little shade. Fever up by 13 at the break. Third quarter. Watch Reese under the hoop here. After the miss, this is what everyone's talking about. She gets a rebound, and then Clark comes in with a hard foul. Reese has to be held back as Aaliyah Boston steps in.
And let's be real, this isn't going away anytime soon. Angel's meltdown is now immortalized in glorious 4K. It's everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, even your uncle's group chat. Her face, mid-scream, mid-lunge, pure drama, is already plastered on memes and t-shirts. It's destined to haunt highlight reels for the next decade. You just know ESPN's graphics team is working overtime trying to find a single frame where she doesn't look like she's summoning a demon with pure spite. Meanwhile, Caitlin is probably chilling somewhere, sipping water and casually updating her LinkedIn with skills like expert in de-escalation and professional at being hated for no reason. You could tell by the way she didn't even glance back at Angel that this wasn't new. This feud has been simmering under the surface for months, maybe years, and now it's boiled over like instant ramen left on a college dorm hot plate. Here's the kicker.
Sure that tensions didn't get too high after the play. Now with this play, they did call a flagrant 1 on Caitlin Clark. They said that it was unnecessary contact on the play, but I immediately knew, I was like, oh crap, this is gonna be something that goes viral. A bunch of people are gonna talk about it. People are going to make it into something bigger than it needs.
So now the question is, what next? Will she get suspended, fined, sent to a meditation retreat with Phil Jackson, and a bag of incense? Will the NCAA pretend it didn't happen because drama equals ratings, or will they use her as a cautionary tale for every player who thinks passion means going full Terminator mid-aim? Time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Angel Reese might have the talent of a superstar, but last night, she had the impulse, control of a YouTube comment section, and that's not just bad. For her career, that's bad for the sport, because at some point the drama needs to end and the basketball needs to begin again. Until then, enjoy the bench. Angel, you've earned that view. And let's not forget the irony, the cosmic joke written in all caps across the basketball court. Angel Reese, who once styled herself as the ultimate competitor, the unshakable enforcer, the queen of trash talk, just ended up talking herself right out of the game. It's the sports equivalent of declaring checkmate before. Realizing you've been playing Connect for the whole time, now her supporters are scrambling like a conspiracy theory subreddit. She's misunderstood. She's just emotional. The media is twisting the narrative. Oh, please.
Indiana Fever just played their first game against the Chicago Sky, and folks, it was not close. It was not close. I remember my timeline being flooded with people saying it was going to be a good dog fight. It was going to be a close game. It was going to come down to the wire. It was going to be a great one. No, it wasn't. It was a 40-point blowout. And it was a great game on one side. On the other side, it was a little questionable. But we got to see Caitlin Clark in full force.
The microphones were live, and the eyes of every hot wing-fueled fan in America were glued to the drama unfolding on the court. If this was a misunderstanding, then so was the sinking of the Titanic. Massive, unavoidable, and utterly catastrophic. Angel's timing couldn't have been worse. The game was tight, her team desperately needed leadership, and what they got instead was a one-woman Broadway production of Unhinged, the musical. Instead of stepping up as the clutch player she's supposed to be, Angel chose to become the chaos coordinator. And the only thing more disappointing than her meltdown? The deafening silence from her teammates, who clearly didn't want to jump aboard that sinking emotional ship. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark? She could probably run for office after surviving that fiery storm with the composure of a Buckingham Palace guard, practically bulletproof. The contrast couldn't be more glaring. Caitlin's calm and collected demeanor versus Angel's emotional demolition derby. One looked like a future MVP, the other looked like an unpaid extra flailing in a high school drama class. And here's the kicker, the punishment is coming. Whether it's a suspension, a benching longer than her signature lashes, or a character-building session with the NCAA's most humorless compliance officer.
And this was hilarious. Look, Angel Reese was pissed. Look at it, she was still going out there a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. What's going on? Look, and the thing is, I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool. But I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, Look at her. Ooh. I mean, she was getting after it, fam.
But a lot of hate going on out there. And I mean, hate from Angel Reese fans onto both Indiana Fever fans and guys that just want to talk about sports like Robert Griffin III.
The perfect chance to elevate the sport and show young athletes how to rise above adversity. Instead, she threw away a primetime moment for the sake of pure pettiness. If she's not careful, this won't be a forgotten footnote. It'll define her legacy. Welcome to the court of public opinion, Angel Reese. The verdict? Guilty of self-sabotage with a heavy side of unnecessary drama. Enjoy your time in timeout. Maybe while you're there, reflect